In this video, I'm going to show you how to mobilize and open up the outside of your hip. Think about muscles like glute med, glute min, even some of the glute max, deeper hip rotators. It's going to be really nice for anyone with IT band problems or people who are just a little bit stiff through the hip. We're going to have two exercises. One is a mobility exercise, one is a strength exercise, and I like to pair them together for my clients. So make sure that you kind of follow the programming that we lay out. So it's very common for people to be very tight on the outside of their hip, and it's very common for them to stay very tight because what you usually see them doing is lots of pigeon type stretches where they're trying to bring their knee or their femur across their body. They'll do it in seated where they do that hugging one, they'll do the pigeon stuff, they'll do different variations on the floor. And I don't think that works particularly well. What we like to do is get people up and standing and do variations where their pelvis has to shift across over the stance leg rather than always trying to bring the femur across. If you do that, you'll feel a huge stretch on the outside of your hip, your deeper hip, a little bit of the back of the hip. This works really well. I have two key exercises to show you exactly how to do it. Okay, so the first movement is a nice gentle mobility exercise. The goal is to get your pelvis outside of your stance leg. So Sam is going to pop his left foot forward and he's going to commit some weight. So he bends his knee and he brings his weight forward onto this leg. I like to put your right hand on the outside of your right hip here, and that's just to try and guide you, and Sam is just going to try and gently push his pelvis out to the side here. I can give him my hand as a target, and he's just going to try and search for my hand with his hip, and he'll even go a little bit more when he's looking for my hand as the target. What I like to do with my clients is just give them the wall as a target instead, so we can show you over here. He's going to put his left hand on the outside of his pelvis here, and he's just going to search for the wall with the outside of his right hip. Obviously, you can go closer to the wall if you're a bit tighter, or you can go a little bit further away and you're searching for this stretch on the outside of the hip. If you want to make that a little bit more intense, what Sam can do is reach his right hand up to the sky, and now he's kind of pushing his pelvis across and then reaching this right hand over this direction, and you'll feel a bit more of a stretch coming almost all the way down through your side. Come a little bit further away from the wall, Sam. Challenge yourself a little bit more. Big push, big reach. Did I give you too much? Yeah, good, that's okay. I'd rather it was not too much and too little, but I'd rather you had to search for the wall a little bit more, and you should definitely feel this stretch here. The one kind of problem, if you want to call it that, is putting this left foot behind. When Sam reaches again and pushes out, often this back foot will kind of drag and turn the pelvis this direction. So what we can do to try and change a little bit of the stretch is, if Sam keeps his weight on his right foot, but he can place his left foot in front instead, yeah, he's still keeping this leg unweighted. What this will now do is turn his pelvis to the right a bit more, and he just does the exact same movement. And you'll feel a stretch in probably like a different part of the hip than before. So you have two options really here, or three options. Option one is just to search for sending the hip out. Option two is to pop the hand up overhead and add a reach, which will allow that to lengthen a bit more. And then option three is to play around with the back foot position where you can put it in front, behind, or somewhere level. But the goal for all of the exercises is to get the pelvis outside of the foot. Okay, so exercise 2, we're going to load this pattern a little bit more. It's not the exact same as the wall, but you will still feel similar tissues, and it's that feeling we're looking to take with us. So Sam has a cable machine. You can obviously use a band. It's in his left hand, so he's going to step up on the box, and it's his left leg that he's going to be loading, and he's just going to show us a couple of reps here. So he's going to step behind with his right leg straight back down, and then straight back up. So all the cable is doing, it's trying to pull him left, which will pull his pelvis to the left, and it's going to force him to lean his head kind of over to the right a little bit more to counterbalance it. And that's similar than as we were getting against the wall. We are going to send our pelvis out, keeping our head the other direction, which allows his pelvis to go further out, and then he drives back up out of there. So allow his pelvis to come out, the cable kind of does that for him, and then he drives back up. And what you're going to feel is two really cool things. One, you're going to feel all of this outside of the hip and this glute working, and two, you're going to feel the groin, the adductor on this left side as well. This is a really nice kind of frontal plane exercise that people think about in the gym. A lot of people do goblet squats where they go side to side and stuff like this, which are cool exercises, but they never actually send their pelvis outside a leg, and they never kind of dip down or load into it. So we're going to do our frontal plane exercises where we really load in and across over one leg, and that's what's going to load these tissues much more than a lot of your other gym exercises. Okay, I hope that video was helpful. In terms of programming the exercises, I like to give my tighter clients the wall one, sometimes every single day. You can just get it done anywhere. It's so easy and it will keep you feeling nice and loose and mobile around the outside of the hip. And then you can add in that cable one maybe 2 or 3 times a week in the gym. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe, drop a comment below and let me know if you have any questions or any requests for any future videos.